Hi. We're off to a late start. It's been eventful.
1 week since you looked at me.
Quiet, you. DM talking.
Cocked your head to the side.
Welcome to this week's show, Chronicles of the Coast, live on twitch.tv Chronicles OTC, as well as YouTube and on Facebook Live, possibly? Sometimes. Anyways, tonight we are actually doing kind of a special thing. We have a secondary group of player characters who we introduced a few months ago.
Yeah.
And these adventurers were the original delvers into this Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Now, as they have been off camera, they have progressed and moved on to deeper and deeper places. Last time we played with our original group, we saw each of them, the players that is, these current 4 players, grabbing at their head as they heard some sort of high-pitched ringing that caused their ears to feel like they would burst. A headache overtook them, and one by one they collapsed to the ground unconscious. We now shift over to these other 4 adventurers, and Cole, Grim, sorry, not Sunday. Sunday wasn't there, and it was not Esvel. Esvel didn't do it. It was Cole, Grim, and Finn. You hear your own thoughts, but your body is not your own. You find yourself looking through the eyes of a stranger. You can't control where you're going, what you're doing. You just feel yourself as a sentient voice in the background of this, almost like a puppet, but somebody else is pulling the strings. One by one, Reginald, Castlemaine, Fredamon, and Bendigo, you are in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. What's going on is that you have recently just broken camp. The leader of your party, Executor, another Warforged battle mage, has been leading you all as L'Oreal Silverhand's chosen to delve into the dungeon to find a runestone deep within the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Recently, you just broke camp. You've made it to a chamber. You have been traveling with a small group of Duergar that you happen to chance meet. Not so much as archaeologists, but more along the lines of tomb raiders. Stumbled across this chamber. They are looking for treasure and loot. The rest of you have recently been discovering that there are archways throughout Undermountain. And each archway can lead to a different place. Sometimes more dangerous than the last, other times finding yourselves falling backwards to places you have already been, becoming lost. The reason you have been portal jockeys as of late is because you have chance met a school called Dwemercore. It is a school for wizards and casters of different types. In Dwemercore, though, Hallister Blackcloak has refused you entrance into Dwemercore, as none of you are of the sort that he would accept as an apprentice. Dwemercore is meant to find new apprentices for Hallister. If you are able to graduate, then Hallister takes you on as an apprentice. But they're not interested in you, and so have refused you entrance. The final thing that you saw at the entrance of Dwemercore was Hallister turning his back to you, and strangely, a trophy of some sort. A glass case with an arm suspended in a magical field floating there. You don't know what it was for, but it haunts you in the back of your mind. Since you were not allowed passage through Dwemercore, you have been unable to find a way deeper into the dungeon. You hope to find a portal that will lead you to the other side of Dwemercore so that you might be able to continue on your quest. Unfortunately, you haven't found it yet, but these Duergar have actually reported that they have seen such a portal, one that would take you just past Dwemercore. They also stumbled across another portal which will take you directly to Dwemercore. Both of these portals are on this level. And so you have the option. The orb given to you by Laeral Silverhand, all but useless as it only leads back to Dwemercore. You're stuck searching around for the correct portal to get you to where you want. Your options now are to find your way into the back of Dwemercore, thus skipping many of the treacherous areas that you have been to, such as Slither Swamp, as well as the as well as a chamber full of stone giants that protect a tiny floating castle in the center of a pit. You had visited such a castle. It appeared to have been controlled by some sort of unusual creature, and you left before it became a problem for you. And so you have backtracked to what you believe to be the 6th level of the dungeon. And you are looking for one of two portals. As I had said just momentarily ago, you have just broken camp. Yep. As all of you are packing up your things, ready to go, the door, there are 2 doors to this chamber, have blasted open. You find yourselves in a regular stone room with no features whatsoever. Room number 24. I'm covering it up. Room number 24 is where you are now laired. The dwarves have given you a map, and so you are able to see all portions of this dungeon. You've been referencing this.
Cheers.
And
24.
as I was saying, you're in this featureless stone room. There are 2 doors, an exit to the north and an exit to the south. For the most part, with nothing to bar them, you've just kind of been leaning against them with your backs to the wall, sleeping like that. If somebody were to open it, you would hope that you would wake up. Executor himself took a watch for a while so that the rest of you could sleep. The Duergar now all but gone. And that's when, as you have broken your camp, that the door blasts open on its hinges. It swings violently, like crashes into the stone wall. And the next thing you see are hulking frames in the doorway. But before you can react, a magical spell is let loose, and the world goes black. You're unable to see anything. I'm going to allow one of you, if you would like, to try to identify the spell. Executor will, of course, do the same.
Not me.
Executor did not see the spell, but the world has gone black. You can sense that something has reached in to try and attack you, but you hear the voice of Executor. This isn't time for a fight! Run! Reginald, you feel something has reached out to try to grab you. It seizes onto your fist, unable to get a full grapple on you, and you pull away. As you do so, this form yanks violently. The strap on your gauntlet has busted and slices your hand open. You reach back and you grab for anything you can. Miraculously, you grab the door handle. You swing it open, and one by one, you rush out as fast as you can. And
Let's go, mates!
You step out of a room of darkness. As you move out, you can see that it was a magical darkness spell that was cast on the room. Quickly, you slam the door shut. Executor rushes up, magical staff in hand, magic whirling in his hands already, and places it upon the door. He says, the door glows. Magical sigils appear across the surface of it, and he says, I don't know how long that will hold them, but I've locked it. We're not going back that way.
Alright, well done, Executor.
Say not.
Come on, me cousin.
Let's go.
We better get out of here.
So let's roll.
Gotta get away from this dog-sucking magic.
I don't know what those things were, but I suspect demon. Big ones as well.
So exactly, we've come out of 24.
You've just stepped out of 24 to the south into room number 25.
All right. So,
Bada bing.
has anybody checked the door?
Which door would you
The
be
door on
talking
the
about?
south side.
I'll go check the door right now. I draw my 2 crossbows.
The door to the south. Currently, in room 25, you're surrounded in a room with stone couches and tray holders. They occupy the northeast and southeast corners. Lying on the dusty floor beneath the couch, lying on a dusty floor, are instruments of different sorts. They look like magical reagents and tools, but you can't really identify what sort. There is blood streaked across the floor, leading from one of the stone couches into the door that you are now looking at to investigate. You said that you go to the door to the south?
The one on that wall there.
Heading towards 27?
Yeah.
Or heading towards the big room?
Where are we at now? There?
South is down this way.
Oh, no, heading towards the big room.
We can
but I
see
was
all
just
the doors,
guarding
right?
the door.
So that would be east.
Yeah.
He's walking towards the door. East.
Yeah.
You guys are holding the map, right?
I've got the map, lad.
Okay.
Leave it to a dwarf to know the way out.
Are you sure about that?
Aye. That's right.
Very well.
They link up, those rooms.
I'll defer to your experience in the deep dark this time. The orb, all but useless now. Go. Investigate.
Okay. I open up the door carefully.
Carefully you reach out. Door handle
Stow
in
away
hand.
one of my crossbows.
The door opens up quietly and seamlessly. As far as you can tell with your dwarven experience, this chamber, these halls, everything that you have seen gives a depiction of extreme elegance in dwarven standards. You're not entirely too sure what these chambers have been used for in the past so far, but you suspect that this is something akin to royal quarters.
Aye, cousin. These Malarkin dwarves sure knew how to do it, didn't
They
they?
did this for us, Captain.
But everything that you can see around you is long since abandoned and ancient.
It's quiet in here. Hustle in, boys. Let's shut the
Reginald-
door behind us.
Reginald, you look at your hand and you see that the gauntlet, having been ripped from your hand, only one gauntlet left, is scored deep across, and you're losing blood.
Do I need to heal it? Spin one and lay on hands?
It's probably a good idea.
I'll just look at it for a second.
Lady, be with me.
And it seals up in front of me. Then I follow him behind him.
You move forward, progressing through the rest of this hallway. In front of you, the room is very dark. Reginald, being a human, as well as Executor not having dark vision themselves, Executor reaches out with the orb that he has and says, "It might not lead the way, but may it light us."
Sounds good.
Floats up into the air and gives off a shimmering light akin to torch fire. As you see this orb drift in front of you, there is this sort of unusual blue fire that swirls and ensorcels itself around, and it leads in front. But just behind Bendigo.
Aye. Where you at, cousin?
Hey, looking at this map, those guys can double back and catch us in the hallway.
Well, then we better hurry.
We need to get
I'll
out of
hustle
here.
up to the next door.
Seems like a fine choke point for fighting,
Mm.
if that's what we want.
Well, this one here says it's not a good time to fight. Says we should run.
Alright, let's go.
And if there's really demons back there, then I agree. I listen to the door.
Well, then let's
Give me
Go
a
south.
perception. See what's on. See if I can hear anything.
I begin to concentrate on
go
a spell,
south, cousin.
and I kind of like cloak our bodies. We aren't as sharp as we usually were. We don't have the same glimmer on any of our armor anymore. It seems like all of our effects have kind of dulled as I cast Pass Without a Trace. Everyone now has a +10 to all their stealth checks as long as they're within 30 feet of me.
All right. Well, I will roll for stealth then and quietly open this door. Oh, 28.
25.
There is sounds.
With disadvantage, that's 2 twos.
Yeah. There are sounds.
There are indeed sounds emanating from
But
the
the
other
armored Reginald is in the back.
Sounds do emanate from the other side of this stone door. As you press your ear to it to try and get a sense, you can hear that there is
23 on
it
stealth.
sounds like the voices of women, but faint, otherworldly.
Looks like we're in it again, mates. Don't worry, we'll
Just
pull
get
through
this
just
over
like the
with.
rest of the times. Remember that one time where I jumped out and saved you from that arrow that was coming from that crazy goblin?
Yeah.
I remember the arrow times.
Yes, they were good
Those
times.
were good times.
Yes. Well, this is one of those times. And as we're walking, I had to continue my 15-minute speech for inspiring leader.
Oh, yeah.
That gives temporary hit points, correct?
I kind of hope they have bows in there.
Equal to 13.
Dad jokes.
Yeah.
Dad
13.
Yeah.
13
Right,
extra hit points?
It's your level plus your charisma.
Plus your level.
Yeah, so 13.
Inspiring.
So,
Yeah. I remember back then.
How many? 13? Yeah. 13?
At night, I still relish the thought of choking the life out of Yek. We need to move on. What's beyond the door?
It's too hard to tell. Some type of magic, though. Filthy magic. Maybe you should go first.
What'd it sound like?
It sounds like women sort of
To the south?
being frightening.
Nice.
Uninterested.
Like very spooky.
Yeah, exactly like that, Freddy. Just very spooky.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it burns,
Yeah.
we move through.
Then,
So we just keep running
Sounds
then.
good.
Run? From what's back there, I don't know much
Yeah.
about demons.
I
I'm afraid I do have to confess my ignorance on that. In battle against men, you don't worry about the abyss.
We get it. You've been in a big war. We know that you're a
Get outta
big
here.
tough fella. Now let's get moving, alright?
Don't interrupt my monologues.
Okay, I'm sorry. All due respect to you, big fella.
I'll show you what we did to men and cowards back in the Battle of Polypay.
Is he calling us cowards, cousin?
No, he's been around us long enough.
No.
He knows
Okay.
better.
Aye, let's roll. I open the door.
I know you're just joking.
As you open the door, there is something different about this. It slides against stone, but it's got this weird, sickly, sticky feel as it begins to pull away. And then you begin to hear the sound of snap, snap.
Oh.
Like web?
It sounds like web. But as you pull it away more, you see this isn't web. It's red, oozing, fleshy almost,
Ooh.
tendon-like. You pull it away and it slides across the ground and it leaves this trail of blood from the
great.
arch of the door. You peer in, the light of the orb and your own dark vision seeing into the darkness.
What the fuck is this?
Everything's like fleshy.
By Doomathon.
Hey, quiet down. It's very. Be quiet. And I hear Reginald come out.
Yeah.
God, my hands.
He's like
What's ahead of us?
You see that the chamber
terrifying.
You see that the chamber itself has these pillars sculpted out of a beautiful pure quartz, but marring their beautiful, perfect, elegant surface are these dripping veins. You see them pulse and course.
It's an abomination, cousin, on this fine Malarkin heirlooms.
Pools of blood fill the ground across the area. There is a dais across the center. You see no figures, no forms, but upon the dais there is a body. From where you stand, it takes nothing but a glance to know that this body is very much dead. Its torso suspended upright, arms tied across with tendons reaching down from
How
pillars.
far?
The pillar itself, or the dais itself,
Where the body is.
it's in the center, but the quartz pillars in this room give off their own light.
Okay,
Yeah.
I take a second. I channel my divine sense for a moment and see if I can sense any undead in the room.
You sense a lot of undead.
This whole room is filled with the stench of undeath. Be ready. I cast Shield of Faith on myself and I start walking in the room.
I follow him.
You approach closer and you see in better view now that the body upon the dais is on its knees, its arms tied up with tendrils of blood. You can see that even now they pulse and course. The closer you get, you see that they are embedded and flowing into the form of this body. As you kind of move around to the side, cautiously, the back has been cut along the spine, the ribs pulled out, the lungs and organs, entrails dripping down to the ground out the back.
Damn.
The lungs are pulled out and hung over the shoulders,
Love it.
and it just hangs there.
Pretty shitty eagle.
Hey, Reggie. That one of them undead up there, hanging from that.
I take a second and point at anything that I sense as undead, directionally.
Can you sense the exact location of undead?
Yeah, and the type.
Yeah.
You know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
The undead are in the air.
Oh, they're above us. I look up and look around.
You don't see anything.
Do we hear anything on the ceiling with my passive perception of 17?
You do not. The sounds of women have faded and are all but quiet. The room itself only has the uncomfortable thrumming of.
Listen, we're just passing through. If you're here to kill us, then get started, because we need to get moving. But otherwise, just leave us alone and we'll pass right through.
Goddamn ballsy for a human, isn't he?
Put a little bass into it.
Executor puts a 3-fingered hand, cold and wooden and metal, on your shoulder. Probably not the wisest thing you've ever done.
Think of stupid.
Roll for initiative. I'm just gonna jump right into it, huh?
Yeah. Should have paid the last 10 minutes.
Undead to the front of me, demons to the back.
I have
Here I am, stuck here.
I have no magical weapons whatsoever.
No? Why didn't you take
That's
one
cocked.
extra weapon?
It's cocked. That's in the center.
We can only have
Yeah.
one uncommon and one.
We didn't get any more items.
Each one of you has a +1 weapon of your choice.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Oh, what? Oh,
I'm a druid! What do I care?
Yeah, right?
I was about to die. Okay.
We have a +1 weapon. Can we make it +2?
No.
Oh my god.
Fucking bow.
Okay. The other one. Where's the other one?
stay in my aura if you want to stay alive.
Yeah, I'm standing right beside you.
I put my 2 crossbows away.
Standing right beside you, Rich.
Pull out my shield from over
You
my back.
said this to me.
Draw my shield sword.
I got a 19 on this too.
I see one.
Ah, I got the 19.
Nigman.
And you see what I got for a initiative? I'm going to use my luck to get rid of this next
So,
one.
as Executor is talking to 20 Reginald,
Executor's at the bottom.
Lemmy sticks his hand down his pants and just like is viciously moving something around down there, and he just can't get it fixed, and he's just going at it.
Now's not the time,
He's like-
cousin.
He's like, my balls are sticking to my legs. Oh, there we go. I'm ready now. Let's get this over with.
Is that what a 1 initiative looks like?
Yeah. No, that was just me getting ready
Okay.
before the initiative.
Tis but a distant cousin, so I swear to you, lad. We're barely related at all. Get yourself together.
I'm done.
For God's sakes, man. You're embarrassing me in front of the paladin.
Hey,
Is that a kilt or a tent?
Who got higher than 19?
I got
Higher than
Some
19.
mighty warriors are known to...
Excuse me.
Higher than 19.
But I got a 21.
21.
Arm's just itching.
Who got 10 to 15 or 10 to 20?
Everybody dies. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Got 12.
Player 1, I believe you got rid of.
Whoever's saying that has no idea what the character we're playing right now.
Player 3.
We're mighty hard to kill.
Way too optimized.
Player 3. What'd you get?
Yes, player wants us to die.
I got a 21.
Yeah, what'd you get?
19.
19? Come on, I asked that question. What
I
the
said
hell?
19.
I didn't hear you.
3 times.
What's your dex mod?
Oh, shit.
What's your dex?
9, 0.
What's your...
Got it.
That's rude.
Right? Gotta say it out loud. Can I write it down?
I got 6.
Never ask a dwarf what his
I got
dex mod is.
Don't have
So rude.
Still puts
Does
you.
your mom have a dwarf or a beard? Yes, she has a beard. Dex mod? No.
Yeah, no.
But that's why I picked damage sense.
Stealth
so I can get
rolls?
advantage on dex rolls.
So all my gold is hidden. What's my dex mod? No!
You gotta be kidding me. Right? Want me to shuffle these cards?
We're gonna go ahead and skip doing a battle map. This one we can do theater of the mind. You guys can see that map a little bit.
Yeah.
There is the dais in the center, as well as the quartz pillars that give off
We're
a
in this big
gentle.
center.
Yeah,
Okay.
they give off a gentle ambient light. And let's go with that track.
Do you have a dry erase?
No, man, I left them all back.
I think there might be one on the shelf behind you somewhere.
So what are these, a bunch of ghosts then?
Once Jesse's.
We haven't had eyes on him at all yet.
Wild. I stole it.
That sucks. So original. You said you sensed the undead. Do you know what kind they are? No? That information hasn't been given to you.
Bam!
Well,
There
we
you go.
can't see them.
Sorry, Joe.
Okay, got you
Can't
covered.
really identify them yet.
Can't you just meditate on it?
Player 2, which would be Bendigo. You don't see anything.
I don't see anything.
You hear the sound of a, but you don't see anything.
I'd like to try my best to make an attack anyways at what I can hear.
Okay. You can somewhat get a sense of where it is.
Shall I roll with disadvantage?
Indeed.
Okay.
You're going to strike up directly above you.
Oh!
It's 17 plus 7, so I think that's a hit.
17 plus 7. Okay.
Let's have a hit.
Your sword, right? Sword?
Yeah.
Your sword up and over. You slice through the air at the sound of this breeze of sorts. Your sword cleaves into some sort of ethereal form. Though your sword goes through it effortlessly, you see that it begins to kind of part and ripple through the air. You've disrupted something, done some sort of magical damage, you believe.
I'm gonna
and
add a superiority dice, precision attack. Another 4 damage.
Can you do that after I describe the attack?
I mean, it says after making the attack.
Right?
It's up to you. I'll
I
do
think you have to do that with the damage. Did you roll damage?
so they all have different qualifiers.
Did you roll any damage?
No, actually. I
Then yeah, I'll allow it.
didn't. Okay.
As long as you declare that you're doing that with your damage, then sure.
4. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total.
Got it.
And I will attack it again.
Invisible
Do I
creature.
still have disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay. Not as good. Very not as good. That will be a miss, I am sure. 9.
Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The creatures reveal themselves. The undead swooping down. They continue to hover just above you, trying to keep some sort of distance. However, one by one they become visible. You just hear the sound of as they reveal themselves, and 5 banshees
Oh my gosh.
appear from the ethereal, and immediately you see, the first thing you see is a beautiful elven face, which within seconds rots away to an exposed skull and eyes, lidless eyes in these skulls that are just weeping tears. They reach out, their beautiful garments old and tattered, and one by one they attack. There is one adjacent to each one of you. A second one is adjacent to Bendigo.
Wow. So I'm surrounded.
Get these.
Yeah.
How close to each other are each of you?
The Bendigo and
We're always close to each
yeah,
other.
we're always like within
Shoulder
5
to
feet
shoulder,
of each
yeah.
other. Yeah,
Back to back.
we're the gold breakers. We stack up.
Sorry, I meant 6. There's one next to Executor as well.
Hopefully,
Are you within 10 feet of me?
I'm hoping that Sir Reginald here is within 10 feet of both of us.
Yeah, that's the plan.
What
Yeah.
happens?
There you are then. And Fred Amon,
Yes, what?
Stay
how,
with me,
how
cousin,
close?
and I'll be
How
staying
close
with
are
him.
you?
I'm right next to him. I remember I came in the room right beside him.
So the 5 of you seem to be kind of back to back.
Sort of like,
Right.
yeah.
Let's just say Executor is somewhat in the middle of all this.
Okay.
The first one makes an attack. You are indeed completely surrounded, as they have all swooped in and tried to circle around you. Their layout and positioning does not give any of them a flanking advantage, as they are kind of up in the air and diagonal. The first one will reach out. She desperately reaches and tries to take Bendigo. You are going to take an attack of 15 to hit.
It's gonna miss.
First one is a miss. The next of the Banshees. Actually, she lets out an ear-piercing scream, and it shrieks through the air. A mournful wail. I need all 4 of you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
That's +4.
Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
It's +4.
You got a 20?
19.
19?
20, 21, 22, 23.
23? A 9. Reginald.
Starting with the deuce.
Reginald. The shriek pierces through. It washes over the 4 of you. Executor completely
Can I give you my
unfazed.
inspiration?
You have inspiration?
I do.
I don't think you do.
It's
right
been
here,
4
right
levels,
there.
dude. You've used
No.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
That's fine.
You're starting fresh on this.
I rolled a 2. I should be
that
punished.
inspiration.
I did. Let me get a drink.
Maybe I'll just make inspiration disappear at the end of the game.
Okay.
Oh no.
Why not? Why shouldn't it? Why did
He
you?
said,
Because I work hard on those songs,
Okay.
damn it!
You do. And the thing is
I
that
can't use them all the
you
time.
never use your inspiration.
I do every time. I give them to my friends. So they can
Anyway,
roll.
what happens to Reginald?
Okay. The shriek and wail washes over your companions. Most of them are able to fight through it. They cusp in the air, shriek,
Get out of my head.
shrug away from it.
Out of my brain.
It pierces you, utterly and wholly. You drop to 0 hit points and fall to the ground.
Goodness gracious.
whoa!
Is he dead?
He is at 0 hit points and has fallen to the ground. The rest of you will each take 15 damage.
Yowzers.
Kind of damage.
Psychic. The next of the Banshees lets forth a wail.
It's -2.
Another Constitution saving throw
Oh my god.
without the bonus.
Must be conscious to grant this bonus.
17.
That's cocked, man. Come on.
It's barely cocked. It is cocked. It's. Oh, fuck. I thought that was worse. Oh, wow. I thought it was jacked up. 13 plus 7. 20. Can't
Got
roll this.
17.
17.
Tell me what it is right now, and then I'll tell you if I pass or save. Because I'm gonna roll up if I do not pass right here.
Are you able to do that after I tell you if you pass or?
I'm quite certain you can with luck. After the save, right?
I think so. Let's just go for it.
All right. Well, right now I've got a 14. Does that save?
That's a save.
Okay.
That's 3 of the Banshees. The other 3, another one makes an attack against Bendigo. One will make an attack against Executor, and one will make an attack against Fred Oman.
You could say Freddy.
No, sorry. They make it. One makes an attack against Bendigo. One makes an attack against Castlemaine. The other one does a different action. The attack against Bendigo.
What is it? The attack.
You see that the creature, the banshee, has reached out its hand trying to pierce into your body.
Oh.
Do I need to tell you the attack? What are you
I
doing?
need to know if it's a melee attack.
It's a melee spell attack.
It says melee.
It's melee attack.
Okay. So just, do I have to save, or do you roll the hit?
Roll to hit.
Okay, cool.
Then
What'd
what?
you get?
22.
That's a hit.
You're going to take 12 necrotic damage as the creature touches into your body, and tendrils of necrotic begin to rot away at your flesh, your skin turning black. The other one against Castlemaine makes its same attack against you. It gets 17. Yeah? Take that damage? That's a hit. You're going to take
17.
17. You'd also
That's a hit.
take the necrotic damage, 12 to you. And the last one, the final one,
Bring it on.
wisdom saving throw from each one of you.
Don't bring those on.
17.
Cocked again, buddy.
11, 12, 13.
13,
17.
17,
17.
17.
Does that pass?
I need a good executor. That's cocked.
Oh my god.
That's a pass. This banshee, this time, as it leans in close, it actually drifts over and it gathers the attention of all four, with the exception of Reginald. You turn and you look and you see that its face just... Its hair flares up, its visage elongates. You look into its eyes and they become deep, dark pools of abyssal black nether. You stare into the face of death itself and you become frightened. And that is the creature's turn.
So
We're
we're all
moving on to
feared?
Castlemaine.
Am I feared?
You are not.
Not feared.
Only Bendigo.
I stand there hiding behind my shield. Oh, crying cousin! We've got to kill this
Can I
bastard!
intimidate as a free action?
I will allow you to intimidate as a reaction.
As a reaction?
Well, what do you do to intimidate?
Well, I kind of wanted to use my intimidate and rage at the same time and try to get them to focus on me.
You can rage anyways as a bonus action, correct?
Yeah.
So you try to intimidate to make
at the
them...
same time, yeah. Try to boost me.
But how do you do that?
I'd be like, focus on me, you infidels!
I'll allow you to do that as a free action, but I want you to roll for it.
Okay. 23.
23.
Intimidate.
Okay. You see that the banshees do all look in your direction. You're unsure as to the result of that.
Okay. And I'm gonna attack.
Okay. You attack the banshee closest to you.
I do.
Okay.
Reckless attack.
That's good.
20. Straight 20
That's a hit.
on that hit. So 13 for that attack. And I got a 24,
That's a hit.
11.
11.
11 points total damage. Plus the 13, I think. Right? Is that right?
Yeah.
24.
Okay. 24 damage. Does
How many
that make
banshees
sense?
are there?
What?
How many banshees?
There are 6 banshees.
6 banshees. Which one is he hitting?
He is hitting the one directly next to him, I believe.
We'll call that banshee number 1.
That's banshee number 3.
And
But
if
you
I
can call it whatever you
if
want.
I-
Number 3.
If I did intimidate them, they all get advantage on their attacks.
What is that?
It's part of my
Oh, it gets him.
my primal path of the wolf.
I don't understand. Why do they get
All
advantage?
friendly get advantage while within 5 feet of an enemy focused on me. So if I intimidate them, they're focused on me, and these guys get advantage.
Okay. It's interesting. Look at that later.
How much damage was that?
They have advantage on you. Anything else?
That's it. I believe.
That's it. That's it. All right. Fred Amon.
Alright, what is wrong with Reggie?
It's if they're hostile to him.
It appears that
Yeah.
I got
whatever-
medical training and I can
Yes,
figure that
which
out
they
just
are.
like passively. What would I think?
As the whale had struck him, the screeching sound that those of you were able to try to shrug off, you saw that Reggie's twitched, moved back. Tell me what happens, Reggie. What happened, Reginald?
I got screamed at.
You got screamed at? What does it look like? You took
My eyes
you took
turn
psychic
white.
damage.
My eyes turn white and I go stiff.
Oh.
And just
He pales. He begins to look undead himself. His face tightens in pain. Blood drips from his nose and ears.
Do I need to make a check to know if I need to either heal him or give him a restoration?
You suspect he's dead. Not dead. Sorry. You suspect, game terms, he's at
Profusely
0.
dying.
But he looks as if he is dying. You see cringing on his face still, as
Alright.
if he is not
I'm gonna
quite
drop my
dead
totem
yet.
of the bear first, okay? And when it drops onto the ground, everybody around me gets 5 extra HP right now. Does that bring him back up?
Is that a heal or
It is basically a heal. Everybody who walks into this thing gets 5 health.
I believe it adds to the maximum or it grants temporary hit points. I don't believe it's a heal.
It says bear check saving plus 5 level to HP.
totem of what, bear?
Yes. For the shepherd druid.
Right.
If that doesn't work, then I'll just use my healing radiance.
My son plays a shepherd druid, and I don't think that's going to do it. But I'll double check what the book says real quick.
Will you let me use it for aid once when a character went down?
Sure, that was me.
It's temporary.
Temporary hit points don't do it.
Each creature you choose within the aura gains temporary hit points of 5 plus your druid level. In addition, allies gain advantage in strength. Which we already have above that. Well,
Okay.
So
Then instead of doing that, then I'll use my radiant soul to heal everybody within me, which is like 5 HP. Or I honestly don't know because I don't have it on me. It's in Volo's guide. Radiant soul. It's one of the abilities as a ASMR.
Okay.
do you get only 5 hit points?
Yeah, I'm just seeing if it'll bring him back up. Otherwise,
Protector. Is that what it's from? Protector race mark?
I believe so, and it does do a heal from my understanding. So, with 5 hit points,
Yeah. we'll just go with that.
you can feel you snap back out of it. Your eyes flicker.
Oh! Awesome.
5 points. That did 70 fucking 6 damage. No, 80, 90 damage.
Drop it like a top, baby.
I'm fucking wrong.
Bam.
Like
On the ground.
I should just look this up, guys.
That sucks.
Are you
One-
wrong?
one
Does
dice
it,
roll,
does it
90
not heal
damage.
him?
No, I have to actually touch him, and it's not radiant soul.
One
That does it.
fail.
That just makes it so my wings pop out. I have to actually touch him to do it.
He's right next to you.
Yeah, but I could just use a heal at that point. I'm sorry, guys. Like I haven't.
Okay, what do you want
gone
to
through all
do?
this
These are
crap.
temporary characters, yeah.
My parents are sleeping, and I'm just like, I just don't really know.
I don't know, guys.
The voice of an angel, Freddy. You
All right.
cast that heal, laddie. Don't you doubt yourself.
All right, guys. I'm done here. I'm gonna cast Healing Spirit right here, and a unicorn just shows up, and it fucking heals everybody who's around us. That's what I was thinking about. With the,
Okay.
And you can move
Man.
30 feet, and it does a d6, guys.
Every time a creature enters the field or at the start of their turn, they heal. So you are able to create this sphere, and it drops right on top of Reginald. He has entered that field for the first time
Yeah.
It will heal him.
In addition, on my turn, I hope.
As a bonus action,
No, not on my turn. When it drops. That's what he's saying.
first time he enters the area.
Okay.
He's in the area right now.
Yeah, that's great. So what?
With
how-
a
what-
bonus
how much?
action, you can move it.
Okay.
And am I in your
What's
area?
the aura?
It is a 5 foot by 5 foot area.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, so it's
tiny.
It's a little unicorn right on top of me. It's
little
dancing.
tiny
It's dancing.
unicorns.
I
like
bring
in
my
your face.
shield down.
It's like one of those weird.
Still there?
It's not.
Unicorns must die.
Shit. I guess I will cast light on the room right now. On us. That's my action.
Okay.
And that's gonna be it.
Executor turns to you with his burning eyes and he's light. You cast light. It's his turn. I'll show you how it's done. This is how we did it back in Albeda. Fire in his hands. He raises his hands up and over. A wall of fire erupts on the ground and circles around all of you. Immediately,
Sweet.
I believe the Banshees have to make a saving throw for that, but immediately they're all going to take some damage.
Yes, they
So I'm
do
going
have
to
to
roll
make a
that
saving
damage
throw.
now.
It stinks because it's like the spirit totem. Does it in an area
They have to
instantly,
take
right?
damage when they
It's
need
like
it.
a bonus action, so I thought I could just heal you and then figure out if I need to use restoration, right? Because I thought you were under an effect, not like just dead immediately from one shot.
There's no wrong way to survive a Banshee's wail, laddie. If he's up, he's up. You've done good. To be honest, I think we should all get the hell out of here. I don't think this is a fight we can win.
Wall of fire circles around all of you. The Banshees are completely enveloped in this 10-foot wall of flame, and the rest of you kind of cower back a little bit, seeing what's going on. Wall would be under W.
Does the Banshee currently scaring my shield off of me have to make a saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell that's fucking me?
No.
What a wanker.
It is a dexterity saving throw, and Executor has got a ridiculously high dexterity saving throw of 17
That's a fucking ranker.
for them to pass.
You're 10 ply, buddy.
What?
You're 10 ply, buddy. Real thick.
First one, fail. Second one, pass. Third one, fail.
You guys ever seen that letter, Kenny? That's what that's from.
Pass.
I'm not that original.
Fail. Fail. The Banshees let loose a terrible scream. They raise up. Oh man, half of that. That is a lot of damage. I got a lot of 8s. Got it. Okay. Wall of fire up in the air. Reginald, you are awake. It is your turn.
Okay.
Reggie, I'm scared, lad.
Don't you worry now, mates. Lady Mage is with me always. I will.
You looked like you were fucking dying there for a second.
I was dead. You brought me back. Thanks. We're still in our little 10-foot square formation, I would assume.
It's almost 10
Do
feet.
you like my pretty uniform?
You got 5 of you there, so you kind of have to. But you're in a bubble of fire, and the burning flames expand outward away from you, burning anything within 10 feet of the other side, protecting all of you.
So are the Banshees still in the circle or are they outside?
They
the
are
circle?
in the flame. It rises up 10 feet to envelop them.
I think we're pretty fucked, guys.
Let me laugh.
I'll just
have to laugh.
take my action to lay on hands.
Okay. Bring yourself back up. Hands on yourself. Radiant white light pouring into you,
35 hit points.
Oh shit.
Are we fighting or running?
including that -1
Look, I just needed my
earlier.
action. If I could have like cast a spell.
for your hand.
Oh,
This
no,
would be a different
35
fight
is
right
what I
now.
just spent.
You ain't getting out of this wall of fire, cousin.
Stay close.
Oh,
Lay on hands brings you back up, back to Bendigo.
I just realized we needed a +1 magic item.
Yeah. All right then. Can I see any of these
You'll have one?
banshees?
You see all of them.
I see them all. Okay. I make an attack.
It's a bow. That's my.
No longer at disadvantage, I hope.
You are frightened. That is disadvantage.
Okay. What about not being frightened?
Can't move towards it.
Cannot move towards any
Do I
of the
get like a
creatures.
saving throw to shake it
Saving
off
throw is at the end of your turn.
at the end of my
Is he
turn?
feared to all of them, or just the one that he failed?
A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight.
Oh, there you go.
So yes.
Okay.
Restoration you.
I will. I can't get any closer to this winch.
Well, you're standing right next to one of them.
She's the one that's.
Two of them. You're
Okay.
standing right next to two of them.
Right then, I will pull out my sword and swing away. Disadvantage. 12 to hit.
12 is a hit.
Alright.
Good job.
Just gonna.
Yeah!
Oh yeah!
Yeah!
It's, 11 damage on the first attack. And. Ooh,
I missed.
yay! I'll attack again.
Oh,
Ugh.
The first attack strikes up and true, cutting into the Banshee's ethereal, ghost-like form. The other attack you swing, still frightened. This one being the one cutting you to the soul, and you hesitate, and she's able to see your attack and shifts up a little bit. The flame still licking at her form, but you miss.
I can attack again, right? I've got. As a bonus action, I mean.
Which banshee is this?
level 9
Banshee
fighter.
2.
Yeah.
Plus you've got
How much
your
damage
action
did you
surge if you really want
I'm
it.
not telling you
Yeah.
that.
Dan?
I'm gonna use
Yeah,
what?
you get 2 attacks.
You have 2
Yeah,
attacks.
why I use 2 attacks, but I
Okay.
have dual wielding, so as a. I can't remember how this dude works.
You have a bonus action to use your offhand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make a attack with your
Yeah.
bonus.
Still at disadvantage though. And I am a dual wielder, so I do get my
I
proficiency.
thought you said you were hiding behind a shield.
I am.
Oh,
That's right.
Bash it.
Oh yeah, you forgot about that.
I'm hiding behind the shield. I can't shield bash.
Okay. The Banshees.
Ethereal shield.
The. Oh, where'd my other dot go? Okay. First Banshee. This one repeats what her sisters have done and lets forth a terrible wail.
You know, they don't have to be related.
Well,
We will
Banshees, they always
call
run together, don't they, guys?
this Banshee rises up, lets
this
forth
one here.
another horrible, soul-cutting wail. Constitution saving throws. Right?
Constitution? Plus 4 for me.
21.
Christmas.
You got a disadvantage because you are frightened. You need a roll for that real quick.
Wow.
It's the end of your turn.
We're all gonna die right here, guys.
Yeah, you have disadvantage on.
So, okay,
no,
okay,
you do
okay,
not
okay.
have
To make your save
You
for
have
that.
disadvantage on saving from being frightened as well because the target of your fear is within sight.
Alright, so right now I'm making my save to no longer be frightened, right?
Yes,
Alright,
disadvantage. Roll for that.
so just roll another one, take the worst one.
What do you got right now?
A 6.
And then you fail.
Okay, so I'm going to use
Yeah.
Indomitable and re-roll a saving throw. Still a disadvantage.
Come on.
Not, yes. So.
Come
Well,
on.
hold on.
Come on.
Re-roll a saving
dice
throw.
or the whole thing.
Re-roll a saving throw. Then you re-roll the whole thing.
Oh, thank God. Come on.
Disadvantage.
Come on. Come on, baby.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16 total. Success.
Oh.
Go cousin.
Okay,
Reginald's down
so
again.
I'm no longer frightened.
Tinkle
now.
down your leg, boy.
Again.
11 doesn't pass, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but you're
No.
just frightened, right?
This is not for frightened.
Oh my god.
This is
Okay,
for the
so
big
now
whale.
I need to roll to
You
save.
need to roll to save
Constitution.
from the whale.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Then you're not feared.
No disadvantage though, right?
No.
Okay. Fuck. Okay, I think that's enough. 19.
19 is pass.
Okay.
And you?
23.
Pass.
21, I mean.
And you?
17.
Pass.
11.
Just Reginald? 11?
Yeah.
Fail.
There's
I've
nothing
gotten a
left.
2
Take
and
it
a,
on the
got a
paladin.
2 and a 4.
Paladin is like
Spirit
one
of
of
Cool's
those,
like, stop rolling my dice.
Yeah.
Paladin's playing
one
Groundhog
of those
Day over
old
here.
toys. You push the button.
Dude.
Here, Reginald's one of those old toys. You push a button, it just goes limp. You're like,
Yeah,
no, it goes
right.
stiff.
I'm like standing there, I'm just like, let's do this, guys, back to back. And then Reginald just falls over.
The next banshee reaches out.
So it's back to 0?
And you're a lieutenant.
Oh, God.
The banshee
damn.
next to Reginald reaches out and tries to corrupt your body. And it's going to roll with advantage. It. Hold on.
How do temporary hit points not count as HP?
Wait.
Well, you don't gain them.
Yeah, but it's like giving you a boost or like a stem shot, you know? Like choosing a football player, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It might.
Sorry, I am forgetting a tiny detail.
It's like they're
That
awake and then it
is
runs
very,
out.
very
It's
important.
These guys are all
They're in
intimidating
fire.
bastards, right?
It should be. And they're in fire.
Okay, here we go. Got it.
Is it on
Did they
their
take their damage on the fire?
End of their turn.
Damage leaving
end
the
of their
fire.
turn. End of their turn.
This banshee reaches out, tries to strike Reginald with
So
advantage.
they're on fire swinging at us, right?
19 plus.
swinging at
It
Reginald?
strikes you. Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
19 plus.
It's gonna be more than 2, obviously.
What
4.
did you know,
Damn it.
Pickle?
Hits.
Fuck.
This attack strikes Reginald. The
Take
necrotic
2 deaths.
damage.
Wow.
I scream out at these creatures, take me! Take me!
You're number 4.
Wait, yeah, did you intimidate them?
It's not like that,
I don't know.
though.
Like they won't
Just
just
if
attack
they're
him?
hostile
Right.
towards him, then we all get advantage. Which
The-
actually would have meant I didn't have disadvantage. But
The
anyways,
next
that's
banshee tries to reach out and strike at.
Alright.
It makes its attack. That doesn't count. 17.
It's a barely a hit.
Barely hits. From that attack, you're going to take 10 necrotic damage.
I said, God damn.
That's 1, 2, 3. Fourth banshee lets forth a wail. Con saves.
$14.
Success.
Enough. I got a 17 plus.
Success. Woo! Success.
Rolls.
The next banshee lets forth its wail.
I'm like,
Con saves.
More con saves?
Yeah.
17.
Fifth banshee lets forth its wail.
17.
Guys, we got to run. 11?
you
failed.
That's all I got.
You drop to 0.
I use another luck point. This is my last one.
The banshee.
You go down.
Total? Oh. You drop
That
to
is
0.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Only Executor and Castlemaine are still standing. One of the creatures
Son of a bitch.
It's gonna be a short game, guys.
One of the creatures vanishes entirely.
That's what it is.
One of the creatures, one of the banshees vanishes entirely. And it is exactly at this moment that a voice lets out, Susie! That is enough, my dear! And banshees leave through the wall of fire, up and out, and begin to turn invisible once again as they move into the air. The Executor, maintaining his spell on the wall of fire, looks over at Castlemaine. What do we do?
Part of me says run, but I got family and friends here. We gotta just get them out.
You may drop this spell. I have called off the banshees. You will be spared.
You got my friend.
Do you trust the voice? I cannot see the source of it.
I would shove a potion of healing down my cousin's throat.
Okay.
Roll some dice.
See your Freddy,
I'll let
like
you
his
roll.
body. See your Freddy's body just like let out this big sigh.
What is
It's been long enough that you need to make a death saving throw.
Oh shit. Well, goodbye, Reggie. It's good knowing you. It's cocked.
It's between a 10 and
It's fucking cocked.
11.
Oh,
It's a pass.
what is a regular healing potion?
Regular healing potion is 2d4
my last
plus
luck
2.
points.
Okay, so I
fail.
got 8 hit points.
One failure for you.
2d4 plus 1.
I wake up, scramble over on my hands and knees. Hang on, Reggie, I'm coming for you, laddie. Pour a potion down his throat.
I've got one on my belt.
I've
Okay.
got 3, so I'll take one off. I don't even think to grab one off your belt. I just grab one that I know I have.
Okay. I
Get the druid up!
I reach over and slap him with 5 hit points.
We love no more! We love no more!
You alright, cuz?
I scream out and I cast healing mass cure wounds.
Bam! What does that look like when you cast that? Please tell.
A radiant green energy erupts from the ground out, and everybody around me receives, I think it's a D8 plus my magic modifier, which is going to be a plus 7.
I've got something for my crown thing too. Hold
2.
on.
So 9 more hit points.
Yeah.
You hear Reggie start mumbling under his breath about the Lady
I
Mage,
feel much better.
and as a bonus action, I inspire creatures with my channeled divinity. All of you who are under half hit points,
Okay, that's me.
roll a d6, and then add 4.
7.
Wow.
5. 9 plus 5. That's 14.
And paladins get 2 channel divinities, right? That's it. That's clerics. How many? Yeah.
Okay.
I believe you get it once a day.
You get 1 channel divinity, I believe.
As she talks,
And then-
everybody jumps
Yeah.
up. Boing.
For long rest. I wish it
So I
was
spent
plus your charisma.
Oh, it's
modifier,
3d8,
but it's
guys.
not.
Sorry.
What was that?
I know clerics only get 2. Period.
Yeah.
That is good of you. It is good to see that you are all alive.
Okay, everybody had gotten 16 from me, sorry.
Okay.
If you were under half.
No, just 16 from
total. Yeah, total.
Sorry, guys.
That's good.
The fire lasts for so long. What do we do?
We need to run.
What new threat is this? I'm not a threat to you. So long as you cooperate.
I conjure animals. There's now 8 wolves in the room. Bow!
Oh, lovely.
They all growl.
What brings you
right?
to my temple?
We are on a mission
Ah,
from Lady Silverman.
I am unfamiliar with the name.
She's the lead. She's the ruler of Waterdeep above.
Oh, the land above. I have little to no interest of such a kingdom.
We have no interest in yours either. We used to only pass through it.
A kingdom no more, I'm unafraid. However, pass through. Perhaps we could work something out.
Who are you?
Would love to roll a persuasion check.
An excellent question. My name is Melith. And a figure steps down the stairs to a door that has been outside of your line of sight. to the edge of this darkness. She ascends one step at a time, a black silhouette slowly giving way to a very feminine figure moving forward. Beautiful silken, spider silken robes down her. But as she moves into the light, the wall of fire parts just enough for you to see through, reflecting off of the walls. A burning light from this fire radiating in her eyes, her hair white and wild up in such a unusual fashion, especially for a drow. And then that's when you see that her face, her arms are covered in scars, some of them healing, lacerations of sort. Her hands stained red with a fresh blood. To her side are these unusual hounds. They almost appear to have the faces of men, large and hulking, but their eyes burn with a glowing light. The shadows around her flicker in a most unusual way, almost as if they have a life of themselves. And she steps down one by one with a delicate footstep, but echoing deeply across the chamber halls. And she looks at all of you. This is my temple. I have dedicated it. I believe it was once a royal chamber to some unforgotten dwarf, no one of any importance these days, I assure you.
Without trying to make too much attention to myself, I say in Dwarven, keep your weapon out, Goldbreaker.
I would like to welcome you to the temple of Kira Ansley and Veilrune.
I see the scars on her arm and it just makes me itch my irritation that's on mine.
All of you look to the side and you remember now that earlier in your journey you had come across an aboleth. Though you had failed to destroy the beast, you fought against it. It did seize upon Castlemaine at the time, and it left an unusual spiral scar all the way up his arm. But Reginald, you hacked off that portion of tentacle. Castlemaine shook it free, but his hand has been scarred and sensitive, and he's constantly having to apply water to it.
A wet wrapping.
It's getting gross, cousin.
It'll be alright.
You should have the healer look at it.
You are all so fresh of blood.
You know,
Kira
Mine
Ansley.
is meant for the taking.
Kira Ansley has gifted us. Since the fall of my house at the hands of the Freth, we have learned a new magic. A new powerful magic. There is life in blood. And power.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself while she's talking.
I can smell it. But I mean you no harm. My scouts have reported that they had found you. They sought to dismember you, rip you to pieces. But I have called them off. The demons hulk and hide in the shadows of this place. They hunger for you, for your flesh. But allow me to be your hostess.
what is it that you know about Dwemercore?
Let's not speak of them.
Indeed. They really chapped my hide as well.
When Freth turned upon us, sought us in our own home, when adventurers had slain my mother and left her dead at my feet, unable to do anything. Dwemercore, where were they? I'll tell you, Hallister has no love of my people.
Are they some sort of force in the land then? Some sort of a,
Freth?
police? No, the Dwemercore. Why would they help you at all?
Why would they? I begged of them. I sought to struck an accord with Hallister. The Freth are his friends, neither. I figured an enemy of my enemy would be my friend, but no. Hallister would see us all destroyed and removed from this Undermountain. But can you imagine these stone walls? The fortress of Undermountain, the power. A bastion for my people. A new home since the demonic invasion of Menzoberranzan and us being cast out at the other houses. I thought a new home for the drow. My mother, she led us. We had such promise. Freth had no chance. If not for the hands of those above-worlders. You were not them. You were not guilty for the sins of others. I would seek to make friends. I have so few these days.
But you do seem to be a bit thoughtful for your typical of your kind, to be perfectly honest with you. I've met a few drow and most of them are insane with murder and rage.
Who's to say that I'm not?
What?
Indeed, it is me and my twin sister who rule this place, and murder and rage is all that fills my dark heart these days.
So then why spare us at all?
Adventurers had slain my mother, as I said. Perhaps you could return the favor and exact a vengeance upon Freth. They are on your way, should you seek to travel past Dwemercore. Our realm was the level below Dwemercore. It is known as Muriel's Gauntlet. We had constructed a beautiful temple to Loth. But where was Loth when a dagger was driven through the heart of my mother? Forsaken the entire house of Arvindar. Not only did she forsake us, she twisted and mutilated my own sister. Others. There's something funny.
Nothing. Excuse me. I have bad cold. Terrible.
Deception check?
17 plus 0.
I could heal you. With the power of blood.
No, I'm good. I'm very good. No, it's very, very nice of you. Please, can we go? Please.
No, please. Please allow me.
I wish to leave.
She summons up a magic of darkness. Executor. Stay back. Behind me.
Do not-
Reginald to my side.
Let's go, please.
There is no need.
No, I'm good. I want to leave. Leave.
She summons a demon in front of her.
Oh, God!
He will not hurt you.
No, I don't want it.
She produces this unusual contraption.
I'm very good.
You're not sure exactly what it is, but it has a dagger-like point and a glass canister on the end. And she thrusts it into the gut of the demon. And pulls back.
Oh, it's so unsanitary.
The creature falls forward and dives into a pool of black fluid. Partake of this.
No, I'm very good. You first.
Watch that point.
It is a gift.
Hey, go on, laddie, take it.
No.
Inside check?
Yeah, please do.
Don't be such an elf.
No.
You told me all this time that you're not an elf, and now you won't even take the
No.
dark, gooey...
No.
What is that, a needle?
No. 12? No. As an Asimar, I do not take part of any demon bullshit at all. No. No. I will not take it. You look like you look hungry. Why don't you eat it? I'm very good. I ate earlier.
Yes. Yes, just a bit more. And she takes this cylinder and...
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's the stuff, huh, lass?
For you, perhaps.
So how's Freth, you say? Just down that way?
Yeah, well, take this guy for you, right?
You see something that looks like black ink well up in her eyes and cloud it for just a second before
Castle
it pours
Lake
down the
Grass,
sides, and you see
Warhammer.
that this blood drips down her face. The power is unlike anything.
I don't want to look
I
at
trade
this. I don't
cagey
wanna see
glances
this.
with my cousin and ready an attack action if she attacks one of us.
Executor snuffs out the flame. is powerful. I will take it.
Let's go already.
We could use such a thing.
No, executor.
He steps forward,
No.
places his components away.
Where are you going to put it? You're literally wood and metal. I've seen the inside of that robe. There's nothing there. It's like a Kindle.
Yeah.
This
Why would he do
could be
that?
useful. Places it inside.
Oh, he's allowed to just hang on to it now. Okay. It's not like, hey, take this now or get out of here. Okay.
I think you were too scared to pay attention to the fact
no,
that she was
it was
just
a-
handing it to you.
There was a fucking demon.
How did you know I didn't want to try it? Did you see the way she was in my face, and I was like, oh.
I look over at my wolves and they look at me and they're like,
Perhaps it's a discussion
We
for later.
pass.
yes, let's make like a tree and leave.
So how's Freth, you said?
Sorry, Barry.
How's
I did not
Freth?
mean that.
Destroy them for me. Give me your word. Give me your word.
Those banshees wrecked us.
And I called them off.
Right, but why don't you just send them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
House
that
Freth
is a
would
very
expect
good idea. What? Expect banshees? They literally go through walls.
House Freth is prepared for any retribution from
Who
us.
do we
but
kill?
Okay, we couldn't
House
kill your
Freth.
banshees, but those banshees you're sending out there are not going to kill
Hold
them,
on.
and you're going to send us.
House Freth would not expect outside.
Calm down, Freddy.
I'm sorry, I'm seeing a lot of shit here. It's very scary.
Freddie.
You know-
House Freth is a house. Who do we kill? We can't kill a house.
Yes, because they're made of wood. They're not alive.
That's right, Freddie.
Slay the matron of House
Do we need to
Freth.
make up some sort of code word so we can keep her cool?
And how are we supposed to do that?
Like go into
Like our friend here pointed out, your 6 banshees almost wrecked us. House Freth has to be at least as powerful. If they're scared to send your 6 banshees after them, you're sending us on a death mission,
I
lass.
pull up the smallest one and just start petting it.
I want you to slay Draven Freth, Archmage. I want you to take out all of the matron's children, however many there might be. And I want you to slay their matron. And I want you to drive a dagger in her swollen, swine-filled belly. There can be no heir to House Freth. Be warned. They have been summoning demons.
Shocker.
We don't stand a chance against the likes of those.
But say,
Do you want credit for this?
no,
Yeah, who do we
I
send?
do
to
not need
regards?
credit for it.
What if we just leave?
And goes where? You are here in my realm. I assume that Dwemercore had turned you away as well. Why else would you come to these lost chambers? You seek the gateway, don't you?
Castlemaine just kicks the ground.
I
should know.
And what are these adventures that you mentioned?
They had gone on further. Kill Erilal Freth. Swear it to me. Make an oath.
All these flies.
I can't.
Yeah, drawn to the blood.
Right?
They're blood flies.
Want to find some demons, cousin? I know the
I
paladin.
shall
will.
give you passage directly there.
You guys were there for me when my arm fell off and you had to reattach it. I'll follow you wherever you go.
And so we just take the word of this murderous drow, take out her only rival in competition for this entire level, and then we put her in power because she looks really on point right about now, doesn't she?
Listen, I'm leaving for today,
And
okay?
for nothing.
Not tomorrow. We could die any moment. And then she won't be happy.
Other than you not sticking
Reginald.
your 5 banshees on us, what do we get out
We're
of
here for your
this
ladies.
deal?
Banshees.
6.
What would she want?
Yeah.
Well,
5,
I'll not
6.
be swearing any other oaths besides the one I swore to protect her. But if we cannot adventure further, that will break that oath as well. It seems as though she is forcing our hand.
do what we solve, but I'll kill
House
them
Freth
first.
is dangerous. You may side with the force of Avrendair and carry out holy retribution, or face the evils of Freth. You may be able to parley with them, but they are now more powerful of a threat than us. My house is shattered. My sisters warped and mutated. My dearest little sister, cursed with the form of a swollen drider, only to expunge spiders from her swollen hide in some twisted irony.
Well then, it can only be my hope that someone puts her out of her misery someday, because that sounds like a terrible fate indeed. I have a request from you. If we're to take out your only competition in this level, you must remove yourself from this most holy place of Malercan dwarves. Dwell here no longer, and we'll do as you wish.
You call this place holy?
And the flies.
A lot of blood everywhere.
Take this filthy blood out of here. This is where the kings would dwell. You do not belong here. Take yourself back to your temple of Loth once we reclaim it for you, and leave here.
I may only leave. The only solitude and solace and comfort that we have, should Freth be driven from Undermountain. They not only control and hold on to our temple of Loth, but they have a bastion much further down, in a place called the Maze level.
What if we attack together?
A force that large? Do you not think they would see it coming? They would prepare. Freth has fortified walls. They have a fortress, a citadel of sort, down in the depths. They have spiders of such I've never seen, built of metal and adamantine. They do not lay silken lines like a natural creature. Instead, they are twisted tendon of metal themselves. With such this might, with this Archmage having constructed them, my family shattered.
You know, cousin,
We would walk into a slaughterhouse.
bravery, courage, I've never attributed to a drow, but tenacity, savagery, all these things. You sound afraid, matron.
Do you know of a back way into the Freth?
Do not. But there are many gateways within Undermountain. I control one such gateway. It will take you just outside of Dwemerkor. You may go to the back. They would never see you pass. And it would take you directly to my temple of Loth. I control this end, and I stop Freth from moving forth any closer. But
What's
deny me.
Executor think of this?
Deny me this, and I shall unleash the fury of my new goddess and god. For Kira Ansley and Veirun, the goddess, the vengeful banshee, the handsome dark. We have learned a new way to live here in the depths. Female and male drow, under my leadership and the guide of my new gods, would be equals, and we would wield the power of blood and death.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
I assure you, we have no interest in your surface world. I only wish to delve deeper.
You're gonna need to help us out if we're to agree to this, because there's absolutely no way that we can just walk into a house of drow, assassinate the matron mother as well as her lieutenants, and take
Loaded
back
with
its
spiders.
profile.
What is it then? What are you asking for? Gold? Women? Golden women?
How will women help us? Do you know something we don't know about this house, Fred?
Being sarcastic.
Okay.
maybe you've got like a super, like, drow killing weapon?
If I had such a thing, do you not think I would be
Okay.
seeking the aid of outsiders?
Maybe you don't want
It
to wield
pains me.
the drow weapon.
So we go against all odds.
Sorry.
It pains me, as a newly risen arch-priestess, to seek the aid
How about something
of
to protect
dwarf
us
and man.
from the devils and demons we face?
I had already sought to give you the blood of a demon, the power to fight against them.
You gave it to Scaredy Pants over here.
Oh, scaredy pants. No go.
No.
Is a non-start.
I gave it to that mighty specimen of metal and wood.
Okay.
His name's Executor. He's the veteran of many wars.
Many wars.
So what's your take on this mini war, man?
We have killed drow on my world.
Man at wars.
They're on the way. Drow, man, woman, child. Nothing will stand in our way.
Reginald, we're here for your lady. Do we press on?
We have no choice.
And we will burn anything in our path.
Very well then.
Black fire keeps me warm.
Do you agree to leave these most holy dwarven chambers?
I have already spoken the terms of the deal. You drive a dagger into that swollen swine in her belly. You cut her throat, pull out her heart. Enjoy the final squirting pulsing of her blood. Slay their commanders and leaders, so that we may march in on the confusion and seize control. And I would have no reason to stay. Along the way, I shall topple that statue of Loth, and I will erect a beautiful monument to my new goddess.
Well, it sounds so simple when you put it that way.
A dagger in the belly.
Taking down a lost statue.
All right then.
It wasn't until the death of our matron, our matriarch, that we fell into disarray. It is only fair. A life for a life. Blood for blood.
Blood for the blood god.
Who is this god? So
You
proud.
understand then?
No more questions,
Right, well.
cousin. It's just...
What are you, creature? You wield the power to summon beast?
Druid. I'm a very special druid. Very, very nice druid. So good. So very good.
A love for life, then. Have you ever seen how strong something can be when you feed it the lifeblood of another? Is it not the way of the hunt? Of the wild beast?
But have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Kiranzali is my goddess. I will not dance with Illustrae. She does not represent travel.
Seem to have touched a bit of a chord there.
Sorry. It's just how it goes.
Yeah?
Sometimes you got to call to the devil and the devil does come.
So which way then, lass?
Push your sticky dog.
Come with me.
I said it to my wolf. One of those extra small, it's like a puppy.
Perhaps this is a good time to take a break.
That was just for hockey.
You've got miniature wolves that are like corgis or something. Oh my god, yes!
The corgi wolf.
Corgi wolves!
It's like corgi with the stats of a wolf. And a deep growl too. They have like the wolf growl
Yeah.
and howl, but they're
Oversized teeth.
Oh god, saber-toothed corgis.
I love that. Okay. She leads you up some stairs, up to a dais of sorts. The altar, another altar up there with the dissected and eviscerated man. You move forward even further. These quartz pillars up here, tendrils of blood and vein up them. Down the top, these newer quartz pillars flanking these two doors are dripping in torrents of blood. It pours down and pools on the floor, begins going down the steps into the chamber below where you fought the banshees. Two dwarven statues of magnificent proportion and beauty. Relics, priceless artifacts to dwarves, stand there. The tendrils reaching up and over. Unusual organs seem to be growing among the outside of them. You see that black blood courses into veins, entwining over them, growing like some sort of terrible macabre vine. This heart pulsing. She leads you to double doors and presses on them, opening them with a... They crash open. On the inside, you see a horrible sight. There, on the inside, central to it all, is this desiccated circle of terrible dark power, a well in the center of it, pulsing up blood to the outsides. Something swirls and writhes within the depths of this. There are drow everywhere in here. Many drow. Another archpriestess, identical in appearance to Melith, who speaks to you now.
I lean over to Reginald and I ask him very quietly, "Are these the elves that were shooting at us earlier? The first time we were down here?"
Oh, they were chasing us in the boat?
These are them.
Does he look same more?
I believe so. It looks like they've had a change of heart. He nudges Reginald.
It's like the
Get it?
Predator. It's like the Predator.
He's like, no.
It's like the mouth
It's kind of
moves, like,
fake,
out of
fake
like,
laugh to get it.
I do get him.
Yeah, keep an eye out on them.
In the very back of the room,
Greg, shut.
in the very back of the room is another familiar arch that you have seen before, similar in construction as the other ones you've all gone through. Surrounded by curtains. Curtains depicting unusual events, unusual magics, dark magics. You get the sense of weird demonic taint around everything. You see that they are building 2 statues in the back of this room to lord over the ritual. One of a beautiful but half of her face rotted away in dark undeath of a drow goddess. Another of a faceless drow, but very physical and masculine in appearance, chiseled and toned. However, the entire thing is painted deep dark black.
In relation to
it's like ebony.
This is all wrong.
what the dwarven intention of this room was, what was this room and where are these statues?
This room here, you recognize it as a very special site. This is the heart of the mountain. And the irony of them summoning blood
Like
dawns on you.
where like the
Right.
stone is.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Totally makes sense.
The dwarves would have figured this would have been the heart of their subterranean kingdom.
Okay.
And there's 2 statues, you said?
You see, yeah, one of a goddess, one of a god. You see that the walls themselves, you recognize that there are mithril veins coursing through them, but the mithril has been tainted by demonic magic, and they themselves ooze a black blood dripping down the walls. In the very back, a tall oval mirror is mounted and carved into a stone frame. There are dozens of lidless eyes, and a following a phrase written in common. The gate cannot hide from those it cannot see.
Okay.
It was written in common.
In common.
Hey, cousin.
What's
You
common being written down here for?
I believe it to be the work of a mad mage.
Is it possible for Goldbricker and I to go over and take a look at those 2 statues
Why is he so angry?
while they're discussing the gate?
Yeah.
I want to go over there and look over these statues for any flaws, weak points, critical failures. I've got a bit of an idea for these for later, cousin. I know there's nothing that we can do now, but I want to see if there's any mistakes that the drow have made when carving these statues.
Executor.
And I want my cousin to assist me.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry.
Go ahead and roll.
$21.
The statues themselves are very expertly crafted. They're not vulnerable in any particular point, though they could be destroyed as any stone construct could. A well-placed blow from a large, heavy, blunt object could do the trick to deface them. A chisel could remove pieces.
Shatter. Okay, cool enough. We'll go back to the gate. Maybe we should. Oh, we can't take a break without Chris.
I was going to ask you, Executor, do you think it would be a good idea if I could get a break? My arm is still hurt very much.
I see where you're going there, cousin.
I mean, my arm scar hurts. Where was it scratched again? Sorry, look at it.
Okay. A break?
Yes. I'm quite beat.
May we rest here, Melith.
It feels
Not here.
a banshee beat my ass.
But
Right.
I will have quarters drawn up for you. A meal, perhaps. A delicious meal.
You're so gracious.
Yeah.
For so long as you agree, and I've yet to hear the word.
Well, I'm not swearing any oath, as I said, but I will assist.
I'll kill
Well then,
I'll kill your friend.
what do you have to say about the little pinky promise?
You're really weird. Is her pinky like
help you.
normally formed, or is it like
Yeah.
demonic-y?
Long, unusual,
I'll reach out with my itchy
massive,
arms,
massive,
scarred arm,
very well.
and I'll pinky.
A funny thing that I had done with my sisters as a child.
Great.
I shall accept it as a promise.
Okay. Pinky swears go a long way. in
Shall we
dwarf world.
take?
Yes.
Shall we take a 10-minute break
Yeah.
real quick?
Sure.
Do it.
All right, 10-minute break.
Back in a bit.
We'll be back in
Be right back.
10 and 10.
Hello.
Sneak peek. Spoiler alert. Here's all of the area.
Yeah.
We're back. Our players are taking a short rest. They have opted to rest for 4 hours. Dinner, breakfast, kind of lunch. I'm going to say lunch. Lunch is served.
Second breakfast?
Yeah, second breakfast. You guys
Someplace.
are invited to an area and you sit with a collection of unusual drow. They themselves decorate themselves with spiked chain. The elven elegance is still present as they form these swirling, beautiful patterns, but they each end in spikes. Certain of them have cut marks everywhere. One or two of these unusual drow even have what look like the syringes you had seen Melith use on a demon, but instead they are implanted in the skin and you are able to see the blood of the drow flowing through them. These drow are all about coursing lifebloods, and it's macabre and a little unsettling. And they all sit down, and in front of them they have gathered up what looks to be a very large scorpion, and with pins, the tail and legs are all pinned down and stuck to the table, as well as another unusual beast that you have not seen before. Two creatures subdued to the table, and in front of you are just a collection of knives and a simple fork. And Melith sits at the head of the table, and she looks at all of you expectantly. Executor sits there, looks at the instruments. These remind me of instruments of torture.
Yeah, but I believe they wish us to eat this.
Well, I'll humor them.
But you don't eat. You won't taste it.
Before we eat, says Melith at the head of the table, would anyone like to lead prayer?
I stopped chewing.
Oh, started already. Dwarves and your voracious appetite. Do you enjoy the taste of fresh meat?
It's not bad. I'll be honest with you. It's a bit better than I thought it would be. Never tried scorpion
I'm
before.
gonna need a bigger mug.
Well then,
A prayer, you said?
are any
Offering to who?
Kira Ansley? No? Very well. Great Banshee, goddess of death and vengeance, bless this meal. May the blood of these animals fuel our vengeance. She raises up a dainty elven glass filled with wine.
Probably blood.
Jesus juice?
To new friendships and new allies.
Yeah. I.
To friendships and allies.
To strange allies.
To unexpected delicacies.
That was good.
Yeah. It's not too bad. Freddy, what are you so worried about anyways?
You didn't see that, right? I got pretty good dexterity.
No. What do you... I didn't see what. I could just tell that you're unhappy to be here.
A male drow with scars across his face comes up with a pitcher and is like, oh, already done. And fills your glass.
Mmm.
So friendly, aren't they, cousin?
So good.
Let it not be said that House Alvrendia is not without courteous manners and gracious hospitality.
Yeah, where was that hospitality when I wished friendship and your banshees attacked us?
Stumbled upon the banshees. I called them off. They were not expecting intruders.
Yeah, I know.
What'd you mix this brew out of?
No. Ancient drow secrets.
Oh. Should have known.
And so you.
How would you know ancient drow secrets? What are you, a buddy
I
traitor?
don't. I've just heard of it.
All right then.
There's a lot of them.
You sit through this unusual macabre dinner in all of its bloody glory as the animals are literally eaten alive. And as such, whether you partake of the meal or not, it is after the meal that finally you are gathered back up, your belongings ready, executor covered in blood from just meticulously to your unsettling observations seem to enjoy just carving swaths into the creatures. And so you gather back into this unusual temple room to the god and goddess of these drow, and before you is a mirror with a decoration of lidless eyes all around the outside. Melith and her twin sister, as well as another drow who is completely drenched in blood and hair crazy, a female by the name of Thurza that you have heard over dinner, who appears to be Melith's lover. Melith brings him in close. I shall let you pass through, but I do wish to know, are you able to solve the riddle? Are you not just might and brawn, or perhaps you have a sharpness of mind as well?
Perception check on the door.
It's to be one final
The
test.
mirror, the gate. Go ahead.
Or do you just want to explain more about it? What's it look like?
I already told you, but I am
Don't we have
happy
a
to
dope-ass
repeat.
mage do that?
It was something about not seeing the
That's mage?
unseen or something along those lines.
Yes.
It's simple. You close your eyes and you walk through.
How does it stop?
Yeah, show me.
from seeing
You see on the mirror that carved around the outside in common is the gate cannot hide from those it cannot see. You close your eyes and try to step through the gate.
Oh,
Right?
stop him! That's the right way.
Right into the mirror.
I pull up my cloak. I walk up to the gate and I kick my foot through it.
Thunk. It hits a
isn't
solid,
working.
sturdy mirror,
Where are the eyes?
carved in a frame around it.
Maybe perhaps we use the cloaks to cover the eyes.
I'm not leaving my cloak. It's very good.
Mine too. Any scraps of cloth around?
No,
Any rocks on the ground?
no.
In a cave?
It's not just a cave. This is a temple to
I
a
look-
god and
I
goddess.
looked
They had to
down.
break stuff, right? To come in and out of here, right?
Is there
No.
sand on the ground?
There's
No,
no loose
there's
rocks.
blood.
Are the eyes
I pick up
closable?
my. Alright, I get a handful of blood and I start smearing it on the eyes. Do they close?
No. they-
I look over at the stupid drows and I say, how do you open the fucking door?
Persuasion check.
Buy that for $1.
12.
Is that it?
I'm a fucking druid, guys.
I know, it makes you do the persuasion check.
Executor takes a step forward. It's okay.
Oh, thanks for making me look like an asshole for the last 4 minutes here.
It's simple.
I thought we were cool, Executor. I lose my accent all of a sudden.
No, we're cool. We're cool. It's simple. I wouldn't expect you to get it, though. Been through a lot. I've seen things.
Well, that's a
Turn the
pretty
lights off.
wee bit rude there, don't you think? So?
Make the room dark.
I meant no offense,
He's always got an excuse.
but none of you are trained in the arcane arts. With the exception of Reginald, do any of you even have any formal schooling, education?
I'm only a soldier.
I've been to school.
But as a Queen's Guard,
Kinda.
surely.
I've seen a lot of magic.
I know you can read and write.
True.
I can write dwarven.
I know my home address.
Invisibility.
It's tattooed right here.
Important to know your home
Turns
address.
invisible. The gate. The mirror implodes, shatters, cracks along its surface. and flies backwards into a swirling gateway. On the other side, you can see another room. And on the other side, you see dead bodies, piles of bone, cavern wall.
All right, let's go through.
Dang.
In the center of the portal is a single floating rune of black energy.
I rush through it.
I like it.
Rune of black energy.
Roll a d10 for me.
Oh.
Here it is, finally.
7.
7.
It's a trap.
Herp.
Roll a d20 for me.
Oh.
19. That's 16.
16.
Good things. Good things will happen.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Good things. Don't y'all worry.
We have Jesus with us.
You just instantly
Yes.
die. Implode.
Buddy Jesus.
Yeah.
As you step through, you move into the next area, and you feel this unusual magic kind of overtake your head. It's not painful, but it's a little dizzying all of a sudden, and you can kind of feel like this energy creep up through the back of your mind, and you feel a connection to something somewhere out there, and you feel like a voice is ready to answer questions to you. Like, ask, and I shall answer.
A riddle 3? Don't answer that.
And you may cast augury 3 times
Oh, nice.
with no repercussion of a false answer.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Hello.
So I land in the other room.
Yeah, you step through.
Do I turn around? I can see them.
Yeah.
I
Look
come
safe,
through.
mates. Let's go.
Executor steps through.
I step through.
Wait, give me 1 second. I put my arms up and I'm like, mirror me. Mirror me. Oh.
I push him through.
It's like all backwards too.
I catch him. You were one weird little guy. There you go. Or no, yeah, what am I saying? Yeah, you are little.
I'm still just like debating.
I'm normal size.
I don't know, guy. I don't know.
You're out there by yourself, 'cause I jumped
I am. I am by myself. I'm like,
After Reginald has
okay.
stepped through, the rune itself disappears.
oh, okay.
You just see the aura of the magic from the rune kind of circle around his head for a second before fading.
Oh.
Although he appears to be unharmed.
It's like powder now. He knows
So we're all through then.
Had to ask.
And you've all stepped through.
And we've all stepped through.
I'm checking myself. Make sure I'm still in one piece.
I know that we started a little bit late, but it is about that time.
What time?
It's almost 10,
Oh.
usually when we call it.
Okay.
You want to do anything else before we end the night?
We just came back from a break.
Yeah.
I know. That's kind of like, well, let's go ahead. Like I said, do you want to do anything before we call it a night? Got a little bit of time left before we...
What do we see?
We're gonna run up to the next
Bodies,
house and start
bones.
fighting.
You said bones, blah, blah, blah.
Bones, indeed. There are bones of all different sorts of creatures in this room. You definitely see that there are a few bodies of drow draped across the walls. They are old,
What,
mummified from the lack of moisture in this particular chamber. You see that they kind of clutch at somewhat visible wounds that no doubt led to their death.
in terms of dwarven creation, what does this room tell me?
This room is absolutely not of dwarven creation.
Not dwarven.
Seems as though the witch was telling the truth. We've stepped far from the realms of the Malarican dwarves into something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same level.
You see that the particular room here,
It's past the Dwemer core, from what
This-
she said.
this room here is also filled with unusual equipment. You see operating tables. There are alchemist supplies. There are 5 wooden trestle tables in the middle of the room. Those are the ones that kind of lean up a little bit.
Right.
On top of them are remnants of flesh, maybe, dust, bone.
Any webbing?
No webbing. Piles of bones along the walls. There are 4 piles. They're kind of scattered into the corners, as well as these tables. And upon them, all sorts of unusual instruments. The alchemical supplies themselves look incredibly intricate. They fill up entire walls of all of these different things with so many unknown powders. But looking at them, all of the glasses are fogged over and old from dust. And all of them dry. Whatever concoctions they contained before, long since used up.
Can I tell if anyone's been in this room? How long it's been?
Well, before you do that, there is one thing that really catches your attention. The center of the room, on the ground, a few feet away from this unusual glass tube that leads up into the ceiling, is some sort of a copper canister. And it lies on the floor. You see that the glass tube that leads up into the ceiling has an opening. A large opening just big enough for this canister to fit into. And it's stoppered on one end.
I will walk over to the canister
Mm-hmm.
and pick it up.
Okay.
And try and find a way to look inside or open it.
Like a scroll case, one end of it screws open. You see that it is threaded along the side and mechanical in nature. You open it up and there is a piece of parchment on the inside. The parchment, written in common, says, Muriel, I wish to invite you to Dwimmercore. We have need for someone of your particular talents on autopsy and body modifications. It would be an excellent sermon of sorts, an excellent class that you could teach. I feel that the students of Dwimmercore could really learn from the knowledge that you have to offer. Oh, what a joy. The flesh modified that you could teach. Why? The future of my next apprentice, no doubt, lies under your tutelage. Signed, H.
Take a look if you wish, and I pass it around.
Does this mean the person we're trying to kill got recruited?
Like accepted to like a wizarding school?
Is that what this is?
It seems to be a sort of a letter of invitation. Who's Muriel? Is that the matron of House Freth?
No.
No.
Who is this Muriel then, and why should we care?
Muiral.
Muriel.
I'm not sure.
They're long gone now.
Well, perhaps she took the offer and we'll meet her in Dwimmercore one day.
Looking at the copper tube and the letter itself of parchment, you can tell that this is not old.
Perhaps we should pee in that thing that's in the back.
I'll fold up the letter.
I like the way you think.
Councilman
Here's
folds
my
up the letter.
reply.
Oh yeah!
You never know. Maybe it'll come back to haunt Muriel.
I keep telling you, because an honorary dwarf right here.
No. There's no clue. It's trapped
With
in a
that,
human body.
maybe we...
Never spent that much time underground.
Yeah.
He's trapped in a human body.
Yes.
Fold up the letter, stick it in my pocket.
Divine sense any undead around us?
You sense undead coming from all directions in the room.
Oh, she fucking sent them to follow. I don't know that.
Are they the same kind? The banshees?
Can you tell what type? You sense a banshee and you sense 8 ghouls.
Since I did the same,
Rules great.
is it the same banshee that I identified earlier? You think I have some identification? No. Okay. Be sharp, friends. There are undead in the room. Another banshee.
I'll put my shield up.
Do some little mojo.
Dear Banshees, this worked so well before. Come out, communicate with us. We wish to only pass through.
Why would you want to bring these?
Stupid, I know.
Hey, we're
Terrified of those lasses.
Get ready to catch him. He's gonna fall.
There,
Who's falling?
And
there is no reply.
Perhaps they're only here to watch us.
Oh, thank Moraiden, there's no banshees around here.
Yeah, no, they're here.
What?
Yeah, there's one here.
Where?
I don't know.
Oh no.
But
How do you feed it so you leave us alone?
What do
What do
banshees
you
eat? Dwarves?
souls,
I'll
blood.
But
Let's keep moving then, huh?
So you head to a pair of
Assault
double
blood's
doors. You open the double doors up, and they lead even further into the darkness to two different sides. The chamber moves on to more sets of double doors. And so, L'Oreal Silverhand's chosen move off and deeper into the darkness of Undermountain.
Got our asses handed to us.
continued.
It didn't seem winnable. Those damn banshees.
I don't know. I make the save. I get spiritual guardians up. You make the save. You get your wolves up.
Yeah, like wolf attack, man.
Maybe.
It could have been a wolf tornado, man.
They have a
we had no time
There
to
was
summon our
5 of them and
swords,
they could-
basically. is
yeah,
what you're telling
basically,
us. Like,
yeah.
we,
I couldn't morph, okay?
yeah, we got
I
our
couldn't do my
asses kicked as regular
transformation.
rangers, dude. We didn't get to
sequence.
My
summon
favorite
our-
part is that you summoned your spectral healing, and then you drop,
Yeah,
which means
right?
it
Yeah, it immediately
disappears.
disappeared.
Yeah.
I was
You
just
know,
like,
the other best part about that is that as a bonus action, you can move it, and you didn't. You left it on him when you could have just circled around the entire group and stopped back on him.
no, so like the bonus action is to summon it. You can move it on your next bonus action.
Okay.
Is it to summon it? Is it bonus action to summon?
Yep.
I thought it was.
That's why I used the
cast.
can't afterwards.
It'll be
Like, just like spiritual weapons.
on
And the
your
only
turn
other
and
so like
every
the only
turn
other
after.
cantrips I had at that point was like magic stones, which was another bonus action, which I couldn't do.
Hey, look,
Oh,
I'm all
man.
blurry. What happened to me? There we go.
You're on a lot of focus, I think.
400 damage, right?
Have we?
One round.
Have we got anything in our chat? Anybody who wants to talk to us real quick?
Oh man.
Badger's in
We
there.
can say hi to Badger.
Badger's in there.
Badger man.
I saw Reginald Fishman. Reginald is the
Reggie
guy.
was in there. Saren was in there for a minute, but I think she's gone now.
He.
Saren?
Yeah, I think I know who Saren is.
Yeah, I think I do too. It's Sierra.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well then Sierra shares a common name with another friend of mine.
Yeah, Sierra is Saren.
Is it?
Certain fire.
Well then,
So
it's definitely a she.
is that chapter closed for these guys, and we're back with our main guys next week?
We will be back with our mains next week. These characters have a little bit of a story to tell in the future.
Okay.
God. It was just getting whipped.
Oh, that was rough.
We seen the armor man shooting, but
Hey,
didn't know it.
the troop definitely feels like the A-team now.
Oh!
I'm just...
I'm sorry. I'm
no.
sorry.
No way. Wolf
Grim.
tornado.
Cole. Finn.
yeah.
Your eyes flicker open. You awake from something that feels like the weirdest dream. You look up into the face of Esvel Rosner, but you're in a place that you don't recognize. As you sit up and look around, you see that you're inside of some sort of dwelling. There is a glassed window that is kind of foggy over the side, and you take a glance over trying to get bearings on where you are. And outside is the town of Skullport.
Oh.
It seems that you had fallen unconscious in Esvel, Revo, Vlasic, Fala, and Byron and Bryce
Oh, the pirates.
have carried you all to the safety of Skullport.
I check all my pockets.
It's all there.
Better be fucking Bryce and Byron. Oh, just as far as I can throw them.
Viper. Looks like you came through for us.
Hey,
You
came
didn't...
through for me too, so what can I say?
She didn't...
Gotta help
you didn't cut
We're
her
all
off.
in together.
thought you'd cut and run.
I just kind of take out this little pencil right on my hand.
What was that?
At the same time, Esvel, you also look over at the table, and on the table are the ashes of Sunday Plenty.
Oh. Have I seen the container before since we've been on this trip?
Is it like a plastic baggie?
And that's when we fade to black.
Okay.
I will pick it up next week, everybody.
When your characters get to discuss what the hell just happened.
What the hell just happened?
What the hell just happened?
What the hell?
All right, good night.